I wanted to let our listeners know what role or campaign would anyone listening know or recognize you from?
Well, you know, lately, if the listeners are on Facebook, you have that in Texas,
Yes.
right? I'm surprised Facebook doesn't make a Texas edition. Texas is like it's not just its own country; it's like its own world. But if you have Facebook and you, at any point in your life, have thought about Toyota, the the algorithms of the web and Facebook have probably put one of my Toyota commercials in your Facebook feed because I see them all the time. The last couple of years, Thomas, I've been doing these wonderful, they're like digital magic tricks. Like the one I saw the other day that I directed. We did it, I think I did it last summer, but it's still on Facebook all the time. This guy's standing next to a Prius, and on one side of him is the Prius, on the other side is like a 6 foot red gas can. And he talks about how much gas do you need for the Prius. He runs towards the camera and he picks up the gas can, and it turns out it was like a little 3-inch miniature gas can close to the camera, what we call forced perspective. And that runs, and it's the same actor all the time. This guy who's really charming. I think your listeners may have gone, oh, I've seen one of those on the plays all the time on my Facebook feed.
Okay.
And your listeners, oh my gosh, you're in Texas. Have you ever heard of the Houston Texans?
Oh, definitely. Yes.
They're a football team. So I just did 2 commercials for Ford F-150 trucks. One of them was with the Pittsburgh Steelers mascot, who's this guy Steely McBeam. And then the other one was with Toro,
yes.
the Houston Texans bull mascot. He's got a bunch of rodeo clowns. I don't know when this is going live, but it'll be on air by then because it'll run during football, Mondays and Sundays and Thursdays and everything. But the guys who play the mascots, especially that guy Toro, what a nice guy. We flew him out from Houston. We shot in Los Angeles at a real rodeo ring,
Nice.
and we had rodeo clowns, and it was just a blast. And last year I did some Ford Super Duty trucks commercials where this guy stepped on a nail, but it didn't even cause him pain, didn't bleed or anything. It was special effects and comedy,
Oh,
and
really?
your listeners would know that one. And they probably saw the one with these guys jumping
So
rope,
he
construction
actually
workers jumping rope.
stepped on the nail and it pierced skin.
And it pierces skin. If you go to jordanbrady.com, it's the first spot up on my
All right.
website.
Yeah, I'm gonna have all this stuff up in the show notes for people to go and click on.
Oh, that's wonderful. And then
JordanBrady.com.
in the
Be sure
movie,
and go check that out.
at jordanbrady.com. Thank you, Thomas. And then what I was telling you the other day before we started talking was I Am Comic is a documentary on stand-up comedians with Louis C.K. and Jeff Foxworthy and Carrot Top and Sarah Silverman, you name it, all the comedians are in it. And then I did 2 more I Am Road Comic, and most recently I Am Battle Comic, about doing stand-up comedy for our U.S. troops in Afghanistan and Iraq. So hopefully people know that last one because that's one I just finished back in August. I Am Battle Comic.
Yes. What was one of your most memorable projects? Maybe it was I Am Battle Comic, or or what was most memorable and why?
Well, That's a great question. I'm going to go with the documentary I Am Battle Comic. And by the way, you can go to iambattlecomic.com or iTunes or Amazon, all those places. Wherever you stream your movie or buy a movie, that's where it is. And the fun part about I Am Battle Comic is I got to travel and meet the men and women that make up our armed forces. And then I got to come back and edit the film because I went to Afghanistan and Kuwait and other places I'm not allowed to talk about.
Yes.
And I filmed everything, and I did stand-up comedy with four like real comedians, national headliners, and we had a blast. And when I came home, I got to screen the film in I think we went to 8 different cities, including Houston, Dallas, and San Antonio was the only one I didn't get to go to. But like you're in Houston, right?
I'm from Houston. I'm actually located living in Dallas. I've been living in Dallas the last 2 years myself, but I'm a Houston guy.
Okay, so
Yeah.
your Dallas friends know the landmark Magnolia.
Yes.
So we packed the house and we gave all the ticket sales to National Military Family Association, and they send kids to camp when their parents are deployed, or they help moms and dads reintegrate into their family when they come back from a year or two overseas.
Very cool.
They support the military spouses. It's a great organization, and we did the same thing in Houston at the what was the landmark theater there in Houston? But anyway, we in San Antonio it was at the Alamo Draft House. We took the film to different cities and gave all the money away to wonderful charities, and that to me was the best experience because it's a very personal film, and I got to do something good with it, which just feels great.
Yeah, that very cool. That sounds like it helped a bunch of people with that project.